Yeah, thanks, Mark. Frank Pullicino's got a double so far. I think he'll go home with a treble. I think one of his 3 runners will win this race. Not necessarily Romances. Gaita's on a double. She's looking for 3. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Expect speed from Super Angus. Romances has got gate speed, and MUSCLETONIAN come out pretty good last time in mobile conditions. So I think those 3 will be vying for the lead, possibly. Romances seemed to have every chance last time. KYVALLEY Kid, no speed at all at the start, was set to go. Super Angus begins fast. Romances coming across with it. GHENT's using its speed early and keeping the stablemate MUSCLETONIAN wide to the first turn. Back behind those, WINSOME and KYVALLEY Kids at the tail end of the field. Now, Romances is on the outside of this leader, Super Angus, and behind those, GHENT does drop down behind the leader. So MUSCLETONIAN's able to get into the 1 out, 1 back. WINSOME follows him through. And then we've got a margin around 15 metres away to KYVALLEY Kid with his usual slow early tempo. Now, Pascoe looking for another winner here tonight, and she's trying to lead all of the way. She's trying to dictate terms out in front with Super Angus, trying to slacken the speed, and leads by head only. In second placing, Romances outside the leader. Gaita will be happy with the slow tempo, seeing she's breezing with the favourite, so keeping it within gunshot. On the inside, GHENT's got a good run behind the leader. He's good for the sprint lane. He's won using the sprint lane before. 1 out, 1 back is MUSCLETONIAN. They've gone that slow that KYVALLEY Kid's been able to tack on, so he's in the race, but he's on the inside and just trotted a bit roughly there and lost about 2 or 3 metres underneath WINSOME. Down the back they go. They're not breaking any records here. Lead time 48.2, and Super Angus in front leads by a long neck. On the outside is Romances facing the breeze. MUSCLETONIAN is 1 out, 1 back. GHENT on a good position on the inside. He's right behind this leader. Then in turn behind those, KYVALLEY Kid, who races on the inside of WINSOME. Just a walk in the park. Lead time comfortable, 48.2. First quarter, 33.6. And Pascoe's giving Super Angus every possible chance. No pressure from Romances on the outside. Gaita's confident she can out-sprint this leader by sitting close to it. And now they start to lift the tempo. It was probably more Sam than anyone. GHENT dropped off when they lifted the tempo. He's got to fill that gap behind the leader. MUSCLETONIAN is 1 out, 1 back. And WINSOME on the outside of KYVALLEY Kid. Second quarter, 32. 65.6, and Super Angus doing it under a hold. Leads by 2 metres in front of Romances. GHENT on the inside. MUSCLETONIAN being tickled up. Gets on the favourites back, but this leader's had a pretty good run and is travelling okay. KYVALLEY Kid's getting into the clear and trying to stoke up WINSOME. She'll run last. Super Angus in front. Leads by 1.5 metres. In second place, he on the outside, trying to level up as Romances. MUSCLETONIAN starting to gradually stoke up. GHENT on the inside is not firing at all. Behind those, KYVALLEY Kid, they still got to catch Super Angus. Romances on the outside. MUSCLETONIAN continues to grind home, and KYVALLEY Kid's going to come right down the outside. Danny pulls him wide. Oh, galloping Super Angus. Here comes KYVALLEY Kid over the top, trying to go with it, MUSCLETONIAN, but Danny gets home with KYVALLEY Kid. KYVALLEY Kid goes on to beat MUSCLETONIAN. Third, Romances. Behind those, a margin of 20 metres away to GHENT. He didn't fire at all. Then in turn, we had WINSOME and Super Angus blundered again up the home straight, and it cost him dearly.